What's going on, guys? Big welcome to you all to our channel. We are Team Crushing the Meta. We are back. This time we'll talk about Vanguard Zero for a little bit, about the new event from the Crusher versus Challenger. So this is a very interesting challenge because now we finally get the chance to play Bad and Dragger with Deadly Emperor, which is a combination of cards that we love to play as regular players. And yeah, so only thing we need is a triple R, and we're set to go if you already have the other cards from the older set. But we will talk about each and every cards. On the right, you can see that we have all of these cards we will talk about, and in the middle, you could see a game. So we start with very easy, then we go to easy, and then we continue on until we get to the very hard. And in the very hard video, maybe the hard and the very hard video, I will do the explanation of what I'm doing as well. But while playing very easy, normal, I think there is no reason to really explain a lot. So we will just talk about the cards of this set. Okay, so the video in the middle would just start. It will keep on going, so you could check it out if you want to and listen to me talking about the cards, or you could just check the cards with me. So right here we have, of course, the new PG. So you could see that with the new PG, the deck actually changes a little bit, because what this card does is that it could PG, but until you get to the 5 damage. So what it said the Sentinel, so you could only have 4 of it in your hand, and when the Vanguard is hit and you lose, this will activate. While the other PG would say if you would take multiple damage until you get to the 5th damage, then it could still activate. So let's say that you're sitting on 3 damage and you take crit to the face, then you go from 3 to 5. The older PG will activate, while this PG will not. So this PG is actually made for limit break decks. How will we play this PG in our deck? Well, you could play 2 on 2 because we have Mega Trainer. You could choose which one you want to get. Depend on your playstyle, depend on how much Bad and Draggers you play, depend if you really want to go into the Bad and Dragger combo. For now, for the deck that I'm playing, I'm going 2 on 2. But of course, in this deck that you saw on the screen, this deck doesn't really play any of the new cards. So I went through the whole first time playing against easy, very easy, normal, hard, and very hard without including any of the new cards. And then after that, I got my first 10 packs, and damn, they were amazing. So we'll talk about those as well in the next video. Alright, so this is PG is pretty badass because it does really work very well with the new cards. Next card we have right here is Machine Gun Gloria. What she said is, on the regular circle, at the end of the battle, this unit boosted a grade 2 or less Vanguard Counterblast 2 to draw a card and then put the boosted unit on the bottom of your deck. Alright, so things that changed. Well, normally she could not put a trigger to the bottom of the deck, but now she could not put a grade 3 because a grade 3 is a trigger in this game. So that's interesting about her skill being changed, but actually it still does the same. Also, she cost 2 Counterblast, which makes the deck very Counterblast heavy if you want to play Deadly Emperor. If you want to play Catapult, a little bit less, but it's still a lot. It's still a lot to pay so much counterblasts for one extra draw. I mean, you don't even know what you will be drawing. So, I don't know. I think cards like these will not be played that much in a Deadly Emperor build, but maybe it would be played in a Lucifer build or a Catapult build. So, those two could be played. Alright. So this card work, of course, very well with Bad and Dragger, because Bad and Dragger will put the card that attacked to the bottom of the deck anyway. So activating Gloria ability would mean that you put Counterblast 2 to draw for free, because the card will go to the bottom of the deck anyway. The same as for Bracky, and Juggernaut, of course, and the Reckless Express. All of those will go to the bottom of the deck anyway, so you could activate Gloria's skill to just draw out of them. That's why if this card was a Counterblast 1, it would definitely be a very good stable in the deck. But because it's a Counterblast 2, it's definitely very heavy. Alright, next we have Receiver. Well, Receiver was a card in the past that we didn't really play that much, and still is a card that we will not play that much. It's just a common, and said when this unit boosts, when this unit boosts a unit with a limit break ability, this could get an extra 3k, so it means it becomes a 9k booster, which is good because Bad and Dragger gets more power, like the extra 2k, so it could hit magical numbers, but again, it's really not needed, because if you boost Bad and Dragger with a 7k, he would still hit the 21k, so that's more than enough. We also have like the Dudley cards, which could boost, like Dudley Phantom, which is amazing because he could hit crazy numbers. And that's actually it for the grade 1s. Now we go to the grade 2s. So you can see on the screen, I won the very easy, of course, no problem with that. And now we will get into easy. Alright, we're back, and now as you can see on the screen, this is the deck that I play. So it's just the older deck without the new cards. I used the same deck for easy as I used for very easy. Of course, you can see the old PGs, the 4 Reckless Express, the 2 Medical Manager, Phantom, Bracky, 4 copies of Devil Summoner, and of course I still like to play the 2 10Ks, and then for my heals the Juggernaut, of course, while I play the draw trigger being the Jelly Beans. Alright, now let's continue on the grade 2s. Now this game will start, of course, it's at easy, so we don't really have to explain a lot of what you're doing. Now we get to our first triple R of this set, which is Dudley Mason. Dudley Mason is one of my favorite cards by far of this new set, or actually in the past as well. It was my favorite card until we got the giant star, of course. So star is my favorite card, as you can see, it's here. It's also a card that you guys could win signed by me if you will comment your favorite card and favorite clan during the Wednesday videos that we do, our YouTubers favorite YouTubers series, where you could see different fights, Eric from Vanguard Insider, of course Maxime, Kai from like the amazing WCC, of course, but the bunch of YouTubers that we are very happy to have on our channel. You could win their favorite card as well by commenting, not on this video, on the Wednesday videos. Alright, now let's continue with this. We have the first triple R right here, which is Dudley Mason. What they did about Dudley Mason, they changed one thing, which is, again, they made his cost Counterblast 2. The same as Gloria, the Counterblast 2 is very heavy in this deck, but with Mason sometimes you could afford to pay it, because as you saw at the start of the video of this second game, I play 3 Dudley grade 2s. But you could pretty much pump it up to 4, and then you could play 2 Mason onto Douglas, because Douglas could get the power like the Counterblast 1. Sometimes you want to do it if you want to keep him on the field, especially without the combination with a break right. Then you could keep him on the field but just give him power. But when you give power with Bracky, it leaves the field, of course. So there are different things that you could do while playing this deck. Dudley Mason could help you to push for that last damage, especially if you have the Counterblast and you pretty much could get a last attack from him combination with the break right. So the break right will give the new attacking unit extra 10k, which means that if you get a Juggernaut, then the Juggernaut will still be able to hit the 26 by himself, which is hitting above 2 damage and a trigger, right? Because let's say they had 11k, they go, the first damage they took, they go to 21, the second damage they took They didn't get a trigger, but on the first one they got, so they go to 26, and the Juggernaut could still hit them and hit them hard without even without a booster. If you have a booster, then he could hit above 2 triggers, which is crazy. So Dudley Mason right here, being counterblast 2 is definitely heavy, but it's understandable because the card is definitely very good. Next card right here is of course Jumbo the Stun Gun. Well, this card has a very nice synergy with Mason, as he had in the past with the Legion, with this deck as well. The thing is, it's so strong that you could just call it and you could get the counter charge and the soul charge that you just lost. So that is one of the things that makes him very good with Mason. The only problem is that normally Mason only costs 1 counterblast, so you recover from that, but now he does not. But still, Jumbo is a very good card, especially when you just want to call an interceptor. Like, you just call an interceptor right there. That's it. Alright, let's go to the next game. So we have the next game right here, and as you can see, it's still the same deck, and now we will face normal. So we did very easy, we did easy, now we go to normal. Let's continue with Jumbo. So as I said, Jumbo is definitely a very good card, especially if you just want to call that interceptor that will not hit anyway, as sometimes I do with Devil Summoner. I just call it there, it's just a 7k, but sometimes it's just enough to call you something different and to just have it on the field, filter your deck a little bit. The good thing about Jumbo is because he's an 8k, it's not that easy to get rid of him for your opponent as it is for Devil Summoner, because most great ones now are 7k and 6k, which means they will not hit the 8k of Jumbo. So that's also very good, which makes Jumbo again a very good card if you want to recover, or again if you want to combine him with the ability of Mason. So very good card, and you could just like put it in the deck if you want to. Next we have Bill Collector. Charging Bill Collector. Again, a card that I didn't really play that much in the past. I didn't really see used to it. But then it said during your turn, if you have a unit with Limit Break, this unit get an extra 3k, which means he could hit the 11k. It's a good card, don't get me wrong. I mean, you could just call it from your deck, it would be an 11k. Problem with it, it doesn't really have Dudley in the card name. It doesn't really work that much with the deck. But yeah, if you just don't have Douglas from last set, then you could use this card, I guess. If you don't have Brackeys, you could use this card. But you could pretty much make those cards, they're not that expensive. Right, now we have another card, which is Go for a Break. This card said, when this unit attacks, counter +1 to get extra 4k. So it's almost the same as this one, but with him you pay a counter blast. Again, 2 cards that you will not play. It's just commons that they put in there to fill the set, right? Now finally we get to the grade 3s, and we get to one of the best break rides of the whole game. Some of you guys will not agree with me, some will. Doesn't matter, because this is definitely one of the best break rides in the game. Why? Because it keep the power. It keep giving power. Like, he get an extra 10k, the unit that rides on the top of it, but pretty much all the 4 attacks that you make, because you make poop 2 attacks, then they go to the bottom of the deck, then you attack with your Emperor or Lucifer or Catapult, and then you call 2 more, and then you attack with them, and if the last one is a Mason and he hits, you could still call yet another one. So you will be making 6 attacks in one turn, and those attacks are strong because everything will get the extra 10k. There is a good thing and a bad thing about his ability that puts that attacking Vanguard to the bottom of the deck. The good thing is, on the first wave of attacks, those units will leave an empty Vanguard circle behind them, which means you don't have to rely on Reckless Express, Bracky, and Juggernaut anymore for that first wave of attack to leave an empty Vanguard circle behind them. You could just use whatever you have to attack the Vanguards, take out their interceptors, and then attack with the Vanguard to the Vanguard, then call those 2 units. And the downside to him is that on the second wave of the attack, normally when we attack with Emperor, the first wave will be units that go to the bottom of the deck, and the second time we attack with Emperor, we will be calling 2 Interceptors. But now, if you want to do that, those Interceptors after attacking will go to the bottom of the deck, which means that you will not have any defense anymore. So you're going all out in that turn, and that's one of the reasons why Mason is so good, because if you go all out very early in the game, then your opponent would be on less damage, but you'll have to be on lots of damage, so you will be going all out. But if you are doing this in the early game, then normally you would just not call Mason, and with that you'll have more counterblasts left for your second attack with your Emperor. So going into Emperor or to Bad and Dragger are two things that you could do. Bad and Dragger go on all out attack. Emperor kind of give you that second wave of attack. You could just call Interceptors and you could chill there. So again, depending on which deck you're playing as, sometimes Narukami doesn't really matter because they take out your front row anyway. So you could just this route, or you could go the other route. There is a lot to talk about when it comes to the combination, of course, of Bad and Dragger with the Emperor or Catapult, but this time in Zero, which makes a huge difference because in Zero you want your Interceptors to still be there. Next we have is Demonic Lord Deadly Lucifer. Okay, Lucifer right here, of course, he's also Limit Break 4, and this card has the ability to call Dudleys as we know it. At the end of the battle, put one of your Regars and he could call one of your Dudleys. Let's continue on to the next video and the next game, and then we will continue explaining Dudley Lucifer right here. On the right again, and in the middle we of course continue with the game. Now we go into hard. So this is hard, and then after that will be very hard, and as you can see the deck is still the same. Okay, Dudley Lucifer, Limit Break 4. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, it gets the following ability. At the end of the battle, put a rare guard into your soul, then to call a card from your hand. If you called something with Dudley, it gets the extra 10k. So the good thing about Dudley Lucifer, of course, is he doesn't cost any counterblast. He could just call from hand, and he could also give power. So if you go Dudley Emperor, that would be a 21k attacker. But if you have used Lucifer in combination with Bad, and then he would be even stronger. So that's one of the things that makes Lucifer so good, is that he doesn't cut Counterblast, and he works in a deck that you already play 4 copies of Deadly Emperor. So again, one of the things that makes him very good. Alright, next we have is Graceful Catapult. So this is a card that people are very happy to have, especially if they didn't get the chance to get Emperor. Although most Spike Brother players love Emperor way more, especially that Emperor now is also in 11k, because in the past he was in 10k, which was one of the reasons that people wanted to try a Catapult in the first place, but now they would just play Emperor. The downside to Catapult, the reason why they play Emperor, we play Emperor, is that he requires you to have a Persona Blast, which is sometimes not that good. Also, you discard the card, while with Emperor you put a card into your soul, and that card that you put into your soul usually do come in handy. So again, one of the reasons why we like Emperor more than Catapult, but it's a good replacement if you just don't have Emperor. Next card that we have right here is of course another card that just filled the deck, just a common. So we have Anti-Belroid Gunner right here, which has the ability, when you're grade 3 rise, you get the ability to give him extra 10k. Yeah. The thing is, with this card, it's set place, so it's kind of different. I think usually it was when right, but now it's placed. So which means that even when you play something as a Regard, it will work. So he just gets more power. Downside to this, of course, you just don't want to ride it. You even calling him, is it really that good? Is it really important to be placing like 2 grade 3s on both sides, or you need to have it on the field then ride into something? There's like lots of issues, so it's again one of the cards that you will not see us playing that fast. Alright, next we have, I think, the last card for the sets, because we got only 12 cards. And the thing about this card, it's just a filler. So if it's chilling on Vanguard, when it attacks, he gets an extra 5k. And if it's chilling on a Vanguard, when he attacks, he gets an extra 2k. It's something that we got for most clans, like lots of clans have this. So I think we could not really say it's bad or good, because it's just a card that it's a filler and it's just a common. But for us, we will not be playing. So which cards will we really be playing that we want to give 5 stars to, and which cards we will give like 3-4 stars that we will maybe play but in a different build? First card is Catabuild. Again, I will give this card 3 stars because it's a good, very good replacement for Emperor if you don't have him or you can't get him. Because it's only a double rare, you will be able to get it from this set. You just play 4 copies of it and hope to God that you get the second card of it when you want to use his ability. Now, we have Lucifer. Lucifer is a very good tech card. You could just tag him in there, especially in the Deadly Emperor build, because you will be able to just get that one more attack out there in combination with the Break Ride. This would work. If you don't have any Counterblast, this would work. In a very long game, this would work, but usually you just don't have the luxury to ride into multiple grade 3s in 0, because normally the game will end the first or the second turn they got their limit break. But again, I will give this card 4 stars because it's definitely very playable. Balan Dragger 5 stars, as I said, one of the best cards, one of the best break rides in the whole game. We go back to the grade 2s, a card that we will never play. Jumbo the Stun Gun, he goes like 3.5, between 3 and 4. Some people would say this is a card that we definitely play and we can like have a nice combination with him, and some others will not play him because he's an 8k, because he does nothing only when called during the battle phase, which makes the card less good. But yeah, in my eyes, it's still a very solid card. Like Lucifer, we will not play that much, but it's definitely a good tech card. But why Lucifer get 4 stars and Jumbo only 3.5 is because you could really build a deck around Lucifer, while you could not really build a deck around Jumbo the Stun Gun. Deadly Mason. This one is a little bit hard, because if this was a Counterblast 1, then he would definitely be 5 stars, but because he is Counterblast 2, that makes it really hard to play this card at 4. So I think that people will tag him in there just as a 1 or 2 copies, and they will play him, definitely in combination with Jelly Beans. But I don't really think that this deserves 5 stars, so I will just give him 4.5. It's just like, skill is amazing, still very good, still an extra card that you put into your soul, still a good early game pressure. He could go a grade 2, he could call that finishing attack, but again, he costs a Counterblast of 2, which is a lot, really a lot to deal with. So 4.5, I think that we're doing Mason justice right here. Card that we will not play that much. Gloria will get 3 stars from me. It's the same as Catabuild. Like, she's good, but we have better cards than her, as in the great ones that we want to play. I still think that Reckless Express is one of the cards that's amazing. You can just move it to the frontier, you can attack with it. It's very flexible, it goes back to the deck. It's amazing. So yeah, that's why I think that card deserves to be higher than Gloria. The Perfect Guard, which is the last card we have in the set, we'll just give this, of course, 5 stars because it's definitely a card that we will play. And yeah, that's it for this set, and that's it for this game as well. You can see I got a heal trigger, so I went back to 4 damage, which means the 3 stars that we want to continue, and then we can play the very hard. A new difficulty is open. The very hard cost me 2 tries to get into that 3 stars. and then I think hard only 2 tries. So I think that's fine. It's amazing. So that's it for me. That's it for us for this video. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had an amazing time with this event. Still having an amazing time. On the next video, we will show you the my first 10 packs that I opened and how well I did. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time.